G'day guys, welcome back to Supercoach with DR and welcome to the round 20 review. Firstly, hope that you're all going well. A big shout out to anyone that's currently in lockdown. I know it's a really tough time. Some people are really struggling at the moment, so I hope that you're going well. Look, always send us a message if you ever need to talk about anything. I really do feel for anyone that's doing it tough at the moment. Look, personally, and look, I don't really talk about this sort of stuff, but my dear old mother-in-law is currently battling cancer. She has been for a little while now, but lately there's been a few downs, a few complications. So obviously last week I didn't manage to put out the stock market video, so I do apologise for that. I just have made a bit of a commitment to the family to spend a little bit more time with them, to support them, a little bit less time on Supercoach. So for the next couple of weeks I won't have the stocky out, but I will make sure that I do have a really big bumper grand final edition, particularly for those lucky people. And I don't even know if there's going to be any people out there in this position, but for those lucky people that do have 1 to 2 trades up your sleeve, I will go through all the tempting options to bring in before your Supercoach Grand Finals. So that's sort of what's happening at the moment in regards to my content. I will still do the Supercoach Swordplay with spills as well. And look, what is it now? It's 6 a.m. on a Wednesday morning that I'm making this. So yeah, it has been an overly late round review as well. But look, as I said, I have been spending a little bit more time with the family, supporting them. Not as much time on Supercoach, but don't worry, I will still put out all the weekly review videos. And look, if you've got a question about a particular player or who do I look to bring in this week, if you do have a couple of trades left, just whack it down in the comments section here, and I'll either try to do a quick Q&A video or else just reply to the comments through text. So thanks very much to everyone that has been commenting. I haven't got back to, I suppose, last week's comments, I don't think. I do really appreciate it, but yeah, I just haven't had the time to go back. If I do have some spare time this week, I'll try to make sure I go back, and I'm sure that, the replies will be pretty irrelevant now because the round's already passed, but just say thanks for your comment and how you're going anyway. But look, back to Supercoach. Positive thing is, 26.62, it wasn't a massive score this week. Look, 2,700 plus was a really common score in many of my leagues. Had someone went 2,800 plus. Just some massive scores this week. So the good thing for me, as I said, was the fact that I did still manage to go up 14 spots. I was a little bit disappointed with this score, but rank of 219, I can certainly live with that, and I am edging closer and closer, as I've been saying for the last few weeks now, to the top 200. Can I get there? I'm hoping I can, but I've got no trades. The good thing at the moment as well is the fact that I'm not dealing with any premium injuries. I don't think so, fingers crossed, unless there's news that comes out during the week. But I am looking all right at this stage. Got a little bit of cover, not the best cover, but something there in case I've got a disaster on field. So I'm sitting okay at the moment. I'm not going to sort of enter the top 100 or anything like that. But 19 spots to go. If I can manage to get to that top 200 mark, I'll be really happy. So, apart from that, not much more else to say. We'll keep this one pretty quick. Let's just see how the side's going. So my defence was pretty poor this week. Did have 2 men that did manage to raise the bat. My Mr. Reliable, one of my better starting picks this year, Tommy Stewart, 118. Good on you there, Tommy. And the Seagull with 108. Thank you very much, Jake. Look, 515, 600 for this bloke. I paid up for the Seagull. What was it, around the 650 mark, I think, from memory. So he certainly hasn't delivered on that starting price, 105.1. But at the same time, he has been one of the most reliable defenders this season. But would I start him if I had my time back? Probably not. You'd love to have a Callum Mills there, but it's very easy in hindsight, isn't it, to say these type of things. But 2 blokes that really raised the bat. Jordan Ridley with a 52. Oh man, he had a really weird matchup. Don't know why they did that, but look, I'm hoping with Heppel in the out of the side this week that should mean better things for Jordan Ridley, and hoping for a nice 100 plus from him coming into the round. But he's been more up than down lately. I think he went through that slow period, after he came back from that concussion, but he has been a pretty reliable scorer as of late. So that 52, I really didn't see that coming. Really unfortunate, but it is what it is. You just got to cop that on the chin. Jaden Short, 92. Richmond just aren't playing good football, so I suppose at least he's going the 90 plus. That's okay, I'll take it. Whitfield, disappointing. Had a massive score last week. Got really excited about his prospects for this week, but didn't manage to crack that 90 mark. We've said it many times now, particularly in the podcast. No more GWS players. Remind me next year if I try to start one of them. Just don't go there, I don't think. Steve May with a 90. Bounce back slightly. Look, I wanted to see 100 plus. I want to see 100 plus from every one of my premiums at the moment, but 90 with what he has been producing lately, some of those 60 to 70 type scores, I'll take that this week. Bianco with a 45. Geez, his score was pretty low. If you look at his stats, a couple of nice goals. I forget, what was it, around 13 disposals. Yeah, 45 seems a little bit low, so I'm guessing that he must have butchered the ball a little bit there, which is unfortunate, but obviously didn't have him on field. That's okay for me. Briggs didn't play this week. He may come in this week. I'm not too sure. GWS have a few injuries, but I don't know how many of those are big guys, so I'm not sure if he comes in. Handy if he does, though. In the midfield, so Sammy Walsh, I was really close to putting the vice-captaincy on Walsh, but I decided to go with McRae as my vice-captain and the big fella, Maxi Gawn, as my backup this week. But I did take the 131 from McRae. It's a little bit disappointing when you see, Walsh, Mitchell, Oliver, and Zeret all go above that, as well as Max Gawn, only by 7 points, who's going to be my backup captain. But usually that 131 captaincy score you're pretty happy with. But, yeah, it's a little bit below par. Is it this, or maybe is it par this week? I'm not too sure. But back to Walsh, this bloke's a machine. Absolutely love him. Yeah, we'll seriously consider starting him next year. McRae's an absolute lock for me. I'll guarantee it. I'll guarantee you right now, unless there's any form of preseason injury, that I will start Jack McRae next year. It's an absolute given. Titch, he's been just absolutely phenomenal. I really do need to give him some pretty high praise, because after the bye, I don't think that he's actually gone below the ton. So a 132 from him, that's just spectacular. Yeah, 115 for a season average now. It was looking like it was going to be around the 108 mark. So he's really managed to pick up his form in the latter half of the season, which has been really, really good for me, because I was just completely off the pick. And if I had an extra trade up my sleeve, I would have traded him out. I was getting that frustrated. But yeah, he just had a good bye for my structure, so I decided to keep him. Didn't end up sidewaysing, and then, as I said, after that bye, he's just been in great form. So good on you, Titch. Fantastic. I won't start with him next year, though. Mitchell, a bloke that I most likely will start with again is Clayton Oliver. So a 166. This man has been in good recent form. So you can see him at 642,000 again. Was well under that 600 mark at one stage. 124.5 for a season average. That's, only a few points behind Jack McRae now. So he's had a phenomenal season again. Super starting pick. He was one of my locks, and really happy that I started Clary. Hopefully he can go another couple of 140 pluses to end the season. Rory Laird, 102. So a lower score from him. Last week went absolutely massive with a 170. So, if you look at that 102 and the 170, well, that averages out to about a 136 over 2 weeks. So you're taking that. Rory Laird's just been another great starting pick for me. Even though he's in the midfield, that's fantastic, I think. And basically averaging the same as a Titch. So, that sort of puts into perspective, the year that Rory Laird's had. Zeret really bounced back, so I was just, what did he get? About a 68 last week, didn't he? So about 100 extra points this week on his score. I didn't actually see the match, so I don't know exactly what happened here, but I'm wrapped. I'll take it, put it that way. I don't think many people would have had the captaincy on him, but 168 is absolutely brilliant. What's he? 114.7. So, if you compare Titch, Laird, and Zeret, basically all had the same average. So, what did I expect from these blokes when I brought them in? Well, Laird, I think I did mention that he could go around the 115 plus. I said 105 at the lowest, I think, to about the 115. Zeret, I just wanted 115 plus, same as Titch. I thought Titch may be able to push maybe a 120, but just wasn't to be. Unless he goes absolutely huge the last few weeks. I don't think so, though. Either way, I'm very happy with them. Jelly, he's been a little bit disappointing lately. Look, is he still hampered by that ankle injury? I don't think so. But I know that he did have a lot of clangers over the weekend, which is very un-Josh Kelly-like. So a 94, look, it's not a disaster. We're not talking Tim Taranto stuff here. But, I was getting really excited about this pick at one stage, particularly the first couple of weeks that I brought him in. But, he's been a little bit subpar as of late, has Jelly. And Boak, I'm not even going to mention that I traded this bloke in for Andy Brayshaw, who went 190 this week. What was I doing? Someone sort of should have given me a virtual Supercoach slapping for even thinking about bringing Travis Boak into my side. He's just been, an overly disappointing pick, but make some good moves, you make some poor moves. This was certainly one of my poorer moves, so just unfortunate. But it was my decision. Got to live with that. No one on the bench. So Poulter got dropped. I was really disappointed because I wanted him as some pretty reliable coverage. Don't know if he'll come back in or not. Newcomb, I think that he had a pretty solid game in the VFL over the weekend. Fingers crossed he can come back in. Fife won't come back in. So, that may be a little bit concerning, that midfield cover. But again, I do have Bianco that can swing back in there, which is always handy. On to the rucks and take a look at the forwards. So Maxi Gawn bounced back this week, kicked a couple of goals. How's that banana? That was absolutely phenomenal from Big Maxi. I think he really surprised himself. 1 out of 100 type kick, that one, but good on the big fella. That's points for our side. So 138, wrap with that. 121.4 for the season. And Grundy 110. Yeah, he's been a little bit up and down, hasn't he, as well? But 119.1 for him on the season. Gawn's just got him at the moment, but maybe with Grundy having maybe a strong few last games, he could maybe even push up on top of Gawn. But isn't it nice to see around that 140 mark from Gawn? This is what we've wanted to see for the whole year. Unfortunately, Jackson has really affected him, and it was a really good call by Spills earlier on in the year. He had a big concern about that, and I think that's what we've seen this year with Maxi Gawn. Still a great pick. 121.4 is still a fantastic average. But, I suppose we all want a little bit more when we pay up for someone like Gawn. And Edwards is that loop. Didn't need to use him this week. In the forward line now, about to say midfield in the forward line. Some really, really nice scores here. A couple of disappointing ones from my two so-called biggest premiums. So, Danger with an 88. After what he's produced lately for me, though, I'll live with that. Zorko with an 86. 525,000. This bloke was well over 600k at one stage. I did say that scoring would go down. It's happened. I was, remember, going to trade him out. I ended up trading out Grundy instead. It would have worked out pretty well if I had executed my other plan B. But, look, it is what it is. Hopefully he can just go around the 100 plus from here. But the other four blokes here, just super excited with, Aaron Hall, 128. I'll just continue to sing this man's praises. I think I may even start him next year in my back line because he's just been super consistent for me. And you know what? I think that I owe this man. So, maybe likely for me, it could be a combo of, Hall, Stewart, maybe even a cheap Seagull. I think he'll represent some value. You've got Sicily as well. It's going to be a tough decision for me who to actually start in my defensive line because I'm a fan of a few of the picks. But Aaron Hall, just such a great season for me. I've banged on about him too much, I think, in the stockies. I've been recommending him for weeks and weeks. Just love this selection. Just such a great role. He's really been a big part in helping me to get close to that top 200 rank, I think, this season. Zeeble 106, I've all got him. He's gone over the ton. Cool. Thumbs up. And Big Rowan, look, the stars just aligned for me for Rowan this week. And the Supercoach gods, thank you very much. I think that you realised that you made a really harsh decision taking this man away from us for that COVID week. But, you recognise this, as I said, and you have made up for it because De Koning went down. He was rucking against Silvani. Ryder was out of the side. Just everything that could have gone right for Rowan, circumstance-wise, did go right for him this week. So 158... will definitely be starting this man next year. He's guaranteed that ruck forward status going into next season. So 100%, I'm going to lock this man in. Unless, again, there's a dodgy injury pre-season, I'm just going to start with Rowan Marshall. The big question is, am I going to start with him in my forward line, or am I going to start him as my R1 or R2? That's going to be a really big discussion that we'll all have during the off-season. And obviously Saunders, loophole, used him to take that McRae VC score of 131. Madden with a 41. And this man, Jordan De Goey. Oh, man. I was spewing last week because I was kicking myself for not going the potentially safer option, scoring history-wise of Tommy Hawkins. But, things really turned around this week. Hawkins got that lowest score, and De Goey went bang with a 138. So phenomenal game from him. So an 80 last week and a 138. Yeah, I'll take that. That's what's that? That's a 218. So a 109 average that I've got for the last 2 weeks after that poor score of an 80. I'm just super stoked with that, and I thought he was going to be a good selection. Looking off the data, 400 plus scores. He's been finding a lot of the football, 25 plus type possessions, impacting the scoreboard on occasions as well. I just thought there's a lot to like about this pick. Not the off-field stuff. That's obviously slightly concerning with the upcoming court case and all the rest. But the NDHP factor is always a huge one with De Goey. But I knew that I was taking those risks going in. And I think that I've been rewarded this week. And all the coaches that end up going with De Goey have been praised a little bit this week from the Supercoach gods. So, look, that's how the team's looking. Obviously, I can't make any change at this stage. So, Bianco hopefully as an emergency there. If Poulter doesn't play and, for example, Briggs plays, this is where, these loops are just so handy. So, all we do is, we can bring Bianco into the midfield there. Let's just say Briggs does get named this week. I can chuck him in as my emergency there. If all my forwards are guaranteed to be playing this week, then, that's a really easy one. So I can swap Madden there. Can bring him back. I've just got so many loops at the moment. If there's a disaster with a Grundy and a Gawn, then it's pretty simple as well. So Rowan goes up there, can cover for one of those two blokes. And then if Briggs doesn't play, then obviously I can bring Madden back up, who's obviously now on the back line. And if Poulter plays as well, then obviously he can loop with something that's really handy for me. The fact that I can loop basically every one of my rookies. And that can, get you an extra couple of points here and there if you play it smart. So, that is how the team's going, guys. As I said, can't make any changes, so it is what it is. Hopefully the Supercoach gods look after me. So I'll leave it at that. Hope that you're all going well, as I said. I know that lots of us are going through a bit of a tough time at the moment, but remember that Supercoach, at the end of the day, is just a game. I know that there is a lot of money on the line for those people that are maybe in the top 10, so I can understand that there are very few that really need to take it seriously at the moment. But I think for the rest of us, let's just try to enjoy the rest of the season, whether or not we're in the top 1K, 2K, 10K, or 70K. It doesn't matter at this stage. As long as you've had fun, you've enjoyed the season, we've got another fun 3 weeks to go. So please, Supercoach gods, look after me, look after the whole Supercoach for DR community and the Supercoach community, and hopefully there'll be no more dodgy injuries that we need to deal with. So take care, guys. Hope all is well, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Cheers, bye.